In this video, you will learn about note values and rests in music. This is basically how long to hold each note. There are two things that you need to know about each note. Where the note is located on the staff, this is up or down, and how long to hold each note, and this is the note value. If it is a whole note, half note, quarter note, or eighth note, and so on. This is a whole note. It gets 4 beats. You can count a whole note like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a half note. And a half note gets 2 beats. And you can count a half note like this. 1, 2. This is a quarter note. And a quarter note only gets 1 beat. We can count 4 quarter notes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an eighth note, and 2 eighth notes look like this, and an eighth note only gets half a beat. So when we have 4 eighth notes, they sound like this. 1 and 2 and. Let's make a chart to help us visualize these note values. This is a whole note. It gets 4 beats. If you divide it into 2, you get 2 half notes, each half note getting 2 beats. If you divide each of those half notes in half, you get 2 quarter notes per half note, or 4 quarter notes. If you divide those quarter notes in half, you will get 8 eighth notes, each getting half a beat. And if you divide all of those eighth notes in half, you are going to get 16 16th notes, each getting a quarter of a beat. Now let's count and clap through this chart. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Let's go over another important note value, the dotted half note. The dotted half note looks like a half note with a dot, and it gets 3 beats. So that's going to be a half note plus half of a half note. That's the math. So that's 2 beats plus 1 beat is equal to 3 beats. The dotted quarter note has the same type of math as the dotted half note. So it's going to be the quarter note plus half of a quarter note. So that's 1 beat plus half a beat is equal to 1.5 beats. So the dotted quarter note is equal to 1.5 beats. The dotted eighth note. So the math will be the same here again. So that's an eighth note plus half of an eighth note. So that's half a beat plus a quarter of a beat is equal to 3/4 of a beat. So the dotted eighth note is equal to 3/4 of a beat. Now let's go over rests. A rest is a measured moment of silence. Just like note values tell you how long to hold a note for, rest values tell you how long to be silent, how long to not play a note for. Rests are just as important as the notes themselves. Let's take a look at this chart here. So a whole note is equal to 4 beats, and a whole rest looks like that, and it's also equal to 4 beats. Kind of looks like a hat off. A half note is equal to 2 beats, so you play a note for 2 beats. A half rest looks like a hat on, and that is a rest for 2 beats. So 2 beats of silence. A quarter note is playing a note for 1 beat, and a quarter rest looks like that, and it is 1 beat of silence. And then an eighth note is half a beat of music, and an eighth rest looks like that right there. It is half a beat of silence. A 16th note is playing a note for a quarter beat, or holding a note for a quarter beat, and a 16th rest is a quarter beat of silence, so a very short rest. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more music theory tutorials and piano tutorials and masterclasses.